afternoon. It is May 22nd, and we bring Masterclass to you. My name is Dr. Na Ashili Dodo from Nova Wellness Center. Masterclass is brought to you by Airtel Tigo Business. Let's help your business evolve with our total communication solutions for every stage of your business evolution. Airtel Tigo Business, making business simple. It's also brought to you by Goyle, Good Energy, Yenara, Yedia. So today I get to fill in for Mr. Yao Banafo, and I take a shot at being your host and facilitator. So please bear with me. Today we're going to talk about food. As Ghanaians, I think it's part of our culture. We love food. So today we're going to go into it a little bit more and discuss how we can eat cleaner or healthier to improve our overall health and wellness. So, the Ghanaian's typical diet comprises of high starch, high fats, high proteins, and little vitamins and minerals. So what are the effects of this particular type of diet? So the first one is weight gain. So weight gain starts with a few kilos here and there, then it moves on to obesity, and then eventually you can get to morbidly obese. Now, excess starches or sugars, which is not used by the body, usually turns into fatty tissue, which accumulates in different parts of the body. How do you know if you are obese? We have indicators like body mass index. We have waist to hip ratio, which help us figure out if your weight is too much for your height and if the waist to hip ratio is also out of balance. The second thing that this type of high starch diet does is it puts you at a higher risk for diabetes. Now, too much sugar, if not used up by the body cells, remain in the blood, keeping the blood glucose levels high. You're also at a risk of high cholesterol. It is a myth that all fats are bad. We do have healthy fats, which are essential for healthy living. Now, too much trans fats, which you get in a lot of processed foods, or LDL fats, which are the bad fats. If they are not broken down in the body, it increases what we call the blood lipid levels, which can turn into plaques in your arteries or blood vessels and put you at risk for stroke and heart attacks. Now, saturated fats tend to produce a lot of the bad cholesterol, whilst unsaturated fats produces good cholesterol that reduces the bad cholesterol. And we'll talk about the different fats later on. You also have a high risk of getting cancer if your diet is mostly carbohydrates, because a high carbohydrate diet puts you at a risk for obesity. And once you are obese, you have a higher risk for colorectal cancer, postmenopausal breast cancer, ovarian cancer, and so on and so forth. Now, this is because the excess fatty tissue ends up building around your organs. And then waste material or toxins which run around in the body tends to bind to this adipose tissue. And that affects how well your organs can function. Eventually, cancers can develop. This doesn't mean that it is only obese people that get cancer. There are also small-sized people who are prone to cancer because there's also the genetic component. Sometimes exposure to certain environmental things like asbestos, tobacco can also increase the risk of certain cancers. You're also at a high risk of heart disease if you eat this high starch, high fat diet. A high carbohydrate and high fat diet can lead to excess fats in your blood vessels, which block the vessels. So because of the lack of blood flow, if a part of your heart is not receiving that amount of blood flow that it requires, the heart's function starts to reduce and eventually it can lead to heart attacks. Then high risk of depression. So if these lifestyle diseases are not controlled or managed well, most people can also get into depression because it's expensive and they may not have the finances to control it. The pain, the discomfort that comes with these things can also lead to depression. So the question is, do we stop eating our kenke and plantain and fufu and all that? Because as Ghanaians, that is our diet. So before we answer that question, let's look at the action. Let's first look at what we're eating now before we move on to how to modify our diet for healthier living. Now, I'm not a big fan of counting calories. I don't think eating should be that complicated. So I don't recommend you figure out how much calories there are in everything that you eat. However, you need to have an idea. So, for instance, a 70 kilogram female with average muscle mass would require anywhere between 1,800 to 2,000 calories a day. And then a 90 kg male with average mass again will require about 2,800 calories a day. Now, if you are on a 2,000 calorie diet, then on average, as it is, you may be getting about 200 to 300 grams of carbohydrates a day. So let's take kenke, for instance. I'm a guy, I'm from Teshi, so I love kenke. So I always like to use kenke as for an example. So if you take a bowl of kenke, which is on average like a fist of an average sized man, so half of that kenke has about 380 calories in it. Okay, half of that kenke has about 380 calories, and out of that, you're looking at 96 grams of sugars, 4 grams of fat, and 12 grams of proteins. Okay. Now, I just said that on a usual day, you need about 200 to 300 grams of carbohydrates. So if you're eating half kenke, and that alone is giving you almost 100 grams of sugar, so that's about how much sugar we're eating. And I'm not even talking about the fish and the stew and the pepper and all that. Okay, so if this is for lunch and you've already had a bowl of rice for breakfast, you realize how quickly you can pile up on these carbohydrates. Now, we look at banku, for instance. One fist-sized banku also has 700 calories. So if you typically have two, just that is 1,004 calories within one sitting, having lunch. Then a cup of rice, and I know a lot of us don't eat just a cup of rice. So this is cooked rice. One small measuring cup of rice has 720 calories, which is 45 grams of sugars. So if you're eating, 5-6 cups, you can do the math. So it's very, very easy to pile up on these carbohydrates and starchy foods or sugars if you are not watching your diet and having a balance. Now, if you look at one finger of unripe plantain, okay, so this is the unripe one, not the orange skinned one. That has 220 calories. Okay, so that's very decent for lunch. Of course, you may not be having one only, maybe a few, but that one medium-sized plantain, you have 57 grams of sugar in it, which is okay. A can of soda, I'm not going to give any specific examples, but whatever soda you can think of, on average, you're looking at about 138 calories, which is 35 grams of sugar. So I know people who are, for instance, addicted to having a Coke or two every day. I've met people who say, yes, I drink at least 2 bottles of whatever fizzy drink. On average, these are some of the calories that you may be consuming. And then fruit juice. Sometimes you think, yeah, juice is okay. It also has sugar in it. So if you're trying to lose weight, you need to figure out where you can plug some of these calories out, because a lot of them are what we call empty calories. So they don't have any nutrients. They don't add any benefits to your health and wellness. So why consume them at all in the first place? Now, before you go on any fancy diet, it is important that you check with your doctor. And also people need to realize that these diets don't work for everybody the same way. It is very, very important because we keep hearing of different diets, and then it kind of comes in waves. People try it and then stop, then something else comes up. But the truth of the matter is, depending on your body's metabolism, depending on your body's physiology, not every diet will work for you. So it's best that you discuss any of these diets or exercise plans with your doctor before you start. So how do we reduce our calorie intake? So first of all, you can reduce the amount of food you eat physically, especially the carbohydrates and fats. You can reduce that, and that would definitely bring down your calories. For instance, if you're used to eating one full bowl of kenke, you can attempt doing half, and then you can complement it with some vegetables to fill you up. You can cut out the non-essentials or empty calories like the soda drinks, fruit juices, pastries, chocolates, toffees, ice creams. All these have a lot of sugar in them, which if taking, there are some people who have to snack on an ice cream every day or some pastry every day. And of course, if you're doing that for, I don't know, 10, 15 years, then you'll be more prone to diabetes and other lifestyle diseases. Now, you can eat more of a low carb food, and then you have your moderate proportions of healthy fats. Earlier on, I talked about saturated and unsaturated fats. So you want to eat your healthy fats and lean protein. It's important that we talk about lean protein because, again, as Ghanaians, we like our soups to have a lot of proteins from, we call it zoo soup because it has every animal in there. And if they're all fatty, then again, that can lead to a lot of problems. So more fruits and diets. If you eat a lot of fruits, more fruits and vegetables in your diet, if you eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, you realize that you have more fiber in the diet. And fiber is very important because it helps your metabolism and it helps to remove the excess waste from your body. Exercise. You want to do about 150 minutes per week. Okay, so that means 30 minutes 5 times a week. Or whichever way it would work best for you. But we're looking at doing some exercise for about 150 minutes per week. Then water. There's always the debate as to how much water we should drink. Now, again, depending on your size, we are looking at different quantities for different people. But on average, you want to have about 2 liters to 3 liters of water a day. Then green tea. Green tea is excellent because it has a lot of antioxidants that help to remove toxins from your body. Lemon is something that also helps to break down fat. So if you're really looking to lose some weight, you can squeeze some lemon into together with some lukewarm water, and it helps to remove these excess fats for your body. Now, these tips would improve your health status for sure. And that's why I don't recommend the diets in the meaning of dieting, because when you look at dieting, you're only doing it for a period of time. Sometimes it may be a month or two, and then most people tend to just go back to their old habits. But we're looking at making these lifestyle changes. Okay, if you're able to change the way you eat and reduce the sugars and the fats and add more greens, more vegetables, and you're able to maintain it over a long period of time, then you're getting closer to improving your health status. Now, many people are not as disciplined to make these difficult. I don't think they're difficult, but it takes a lot of commitment to make these changes. But the truth of the matter is, it is easier and cheaper to make these lifestyle changes than it is to treat and manage diabetes, heart disease, and high cholesterol. So let's do our best to change these habits for a better health. Okay, so please call us or you can send us a message on WhatsApp. The number to WhatsApp your messages to is 0244 340 437. Again, send your messages to 0244 340-437. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back.
Move on up, 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 up. Moving on up is paying from your phone and getting looks of approval from your friends. Moving on up is doing all your banking from your bathroom like a boss. Moving on up is losing your wallet, but your money is still safe. Moving on up is attaching any bank's card to the EcoBank mobile app. Oh yeah, download the EcoBank mobile app. Make we go and bank like a boss.
Move on up with EcoBank, the Pan-African bank.
Click, send, download, server down, upload, buzz, buffer, Wi-Fi down, print, ping, call, connection lost, video call, vibrate, transfer, call, share, receive. That's the sound of the pace of business today. Airtel Tigo Business provides you with a full suite of flexible mobile plans, value-added services, and reliable fixed services for the startups, SMEs, and corporate businesses, so you can adapt, develop, expand, and progress. Contact us today at business@airteltigo.com.ga so we can help your business evolve. Airtel Tigo Business, making business simple.
The masterclass is in session, and you can interact with us via Facebook at Joy Business or at Joy 99.7 FM. And if you tweet, the handle is at Joy 997 FM. Don't forget to hashtag masterclass. You can also send us a text on 1422 across all networks, or join the WhatsApp conversation on 0244 340437, and our facilitators will address your concerns. Attention everyone, class is in progress.
Welcome back to Masterclass. My name again is Dr. Naashile Dodo, and I'm sitting in for Mr. Yao Banafo. Is your business at a stage where your old communication methods just don't work anymore? Do you need business communication solutions that can help move your business seamlessly from face to face? Then you need Airtel Tigo Business. Airtel Tigo Business is here to help your business adapt to the ever-changing environment with total communication solutions. You have the flexibility to choose from a wide variety of communication services to suit your specific needs at every stage of your business. Talk to Airtel Tigo today on 0577 999988 and let them help your business evolve. Airtel Tigo Business. Airtel Tigo Business, making business simple. Goil's new super synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes is the best engine oil for your vehicle. They are specially engineered engine oils which efficiently work on all modern petrol and diesel engines. They clean, protect, reduce fuel consumption, prolong oil change intervals, and enhance your engine performance from start up till you switch off. Go to any Goil filling station and grab the new Goil Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 engine oil for superior vehicle performance. Goil Good Energy, Goil Yenara Yedia. So again, send your messages to our WhatsApp line 0244 340 437. You can also call 0302 216 541. All right, so we have a message. I put lemon and cucumber in my drinking water. Is that a good detoxifier? I would say yes. Lemon and cucumber both help to remove toxins from the body. So I would definitely say it's a good habit, especially if you're able to do this first thing in the morning. I always recommend drinking a good amount of water first thing in the morning because during the night when you're sleeping, your body gets dehydrated, your joints, your bones, your disc, because of the lack of movement. So when you wake up and you put in some water, it helps to regenerate your body's cells and all the tissues and organs that have just been kind of dormant while you're sleeping. So that's what I would recommend. So somebody's also asking, does eating egg increase bad cholesterol? So there's a lot of opinions when it comes to egg. Now, what I would recommend is that if you have been diagnosed with high blood cholesterol, then you do want to minimize the amount of the yolk. So not the entire egg, but the yolk is where most of the cholesterol is. So you can eat the white, but you can lower how much of the yolk you eat. So it doesn't necessarily mean you don't eat egg at all. But for instance, if you used to eat egg every day, you want to reduce it to maybe 3 times a week. We have Kweku from Tema on the phone. Yes, Kweku.
Hello. Good afternoon, Doc.
Good afternoon.
Great program. Yeah, I just want to find out about intermittent fasting.
Okay.
Because, sometimes you can also use that to reduce weight. So can you just educate us a bit more on intermittent fasting? Because I also believe that fasting is one best way of trying to reduce weight.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that question, Kweku. I will definitely do my best to answer it. Yes. So intermittent fasting is another way that people are using a lot these days to lose weight. And apart from losing weight, it has been known to help even with other metabolic diseases. And the reason being that when you are not eating a lot, or when you don't have a lot of sugar in your system, for instance, things that are in your body which are growing, for instance, because of a lot of sugar, like cancers, like other diseases that may be forming. When you don't put in that sugar or that carbohydrate or excess food, you starve those things also. Or even the bad bacteria, because we have both good and bad bacteria in our body. So when you don't eat too much, those bad bacteria especially, you starve them so they don't grow uncontrollably. And that has been seen to give some benefits. But again, it's important to check with your doctor before you start this, because it can also lead to other disorders, and you want to make sure that your fasting, your intermittent fasting doesn't bring on other health issues. Thank you again. OT is on the line. Yes, OT.
Hello, doctor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my question is, in the morning, if you wake up, say water, you should take water. But taking water, adding lemon on the water is okay?
Yes, OT. You have to keep the water a little warm, though. So when you keep the water a little warm and you put lemon in it, lemon is usually acidic. So in its acidic form, yes, it's not the best early in the morning. However, when you mix it with lukewarm water, it makes it basic. And that is what you want to put in your body to help regenerate those other processes.
Okay.
All right. So we'll move on to our WhatsApp, and somebody says, can you have high cholesterol and still have better blood pressure? Yes, it is possible. You can have either blood pressure or high cholesterol and not have the other one. However, it is very common as well that most people tend to have both, or even also diabetes. And that is what we call metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome is when you have high blood glucose, high blood cholesterol, and you may be overweight. You may also have high blood pressure. So it does happen quite often that once you have one and you don't control it, then it degenerates and you may have that entire metabolic syndrome. Please, I eat too much carbohydrates and I think I have more calories. What do I do, please? That's a great question. What I'll say is, first of all, I want you to keep a journal of everything that you eat, everything that goes into your body from morning till you go to bed. And then once at the end of the day you look at it, you will realize the things that may not be necessary. I don't know what you're eating, but you will realize that some of the things you could cut out. A lot of us may be snacking here and there. So you eat your main meal, then you buy some biscuit here, you buy some donut there. So those are the things that are very, very easy to cut out. Once you've cut out those snacks, then you want to now look at your main meals. How much are you really eating? So ideally, when you take your plate, if you look at your plate and you split it into 4 equal parts, it's only about a quarter that you want to have your carbohydrates, or maybe even a third, depending on what your goals are. The rest of it, you want to have some protein, but half of that plate should be mostly vegetables and fruit. So it's important to make those changes. We have Kujo from Koforidua. Yes, Kujo.
Hello.
Kujo, kindly turn down the volume of your radio so we can hear you clearly.
Turn it down, please.
Thank you very much, Kujo.
Please. I'm having problem with the stomach. The stomach is always heavy. When I eat or drink, it's heavy.
Okay.
I don't know whether there's gas inside or there's a problem. And I'm asking to see if you can help me.
Okay. So heaviness in the stomach can be so many different things. So it's very, very important that we find out why you're having that feeling. Is it because you are not digesting your meals very well? Is it because you don't have enough fiber, so you're not going to the bathroom? So I would say, first of all, eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. It's the greens, especially your dandelion, your kontomire, your spinach, and that should help things to move through your digestive gut well. And if it still persists, you want to see your doctor. Somebody is asking, I'm pregnant and I want to know which of the carbohydrates is good for me. Joanne, good. So pregnancy, you want to have a lot of fruits and vegetables when you're pregnant, for sure, because those vitamins and minerals, like I said, we tend to not eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, so we don't get those vitamins and minerals. And when you're pregnant, that's when you need that for yourself and for developing baby. So it's very, very important that you eat some carbs. And a lot of the times we think fruits and vegetables don't have any carbohydrates in them. They do also. So as you eat a little bit of rice and banku, just add a few more vegetables to that diet and get some extra vitamins and minerals. Lukman, yes sir. Lukman, hello.
Hello, good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much for wonderful show.
Thank you for listening.
We are happy that you educate us how to live our life. As much as you are telling us how to eat better food, is it not possible for anybody to do research on the kind of food that we have in Ghana, especially what we eat, the farmers, what they produce, and the market and what they sell? Sometimes you may think you are eating better food, but what they put into the food is very, very bad. Chemicals. They apply chemicals that are not authorized to be used. So that one is very harmful for us. Sometimes you may think you are eating better food, but the kind of chemical that they apply in the food is not helping us. If somebody can take a research on the food that we have in Ghana, sometimes the level that you are talking about now, they don't even grow before they just pick it up and start selling it in the market. It's very bad, because when you are in the market or you are with the farmer, you see the kind of thing that they do. Sometimes you may even not feel like eating. Thank you very much, madam.
All right, I'll respond to you. Thank you for calling. Ernest from Tema. Yes, Ernest.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good job.
Thank you.
It's just a contribution and a question.
Okay.
With like just as you mentioned with fruits, usually people tend to like they do smoothies with fruit. Mm-hmm. So they end up blending the fruit. So when they take it, that also will spike their sugar like
Right.
to give them their insulin level will go up. So it's always very important that people take food
Sure.
in its raw form, so that it will give them fiber as well. And I also wanted to find out about if you are bodybuilding.
Uh-huh.
You know, carbs will give you energy
Right.
to get on this. So how much carbohydrates should you take? Because if you want to abstain from taking carbohydrate, then you are into bodybuilding. It's going to be, or people who are into energy supplement.
Right.
Stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
So can you please educate us on that?
Sure.
Thank you, and God bless you for this job. Yeah?
Thank you so much. So, the gentleman was asking about chemicals in our foods. And yes, it is correct, because a lot of our farmers are using all sorts of fertilizers and things that have some chemicals in them. And it's very, very difficult to know what is organic and what is not. So my simple recommendation is, when you get your produce, fruits and vegetables, you do your very best to clean them very, very well. So if it's something that you can soak in some vinegar or wash it with salty water, do your very best. Don't just rinse it with water once and think it's fine. So do your very best to remove as many chemicals as possible, and that's what we can do for now. And also avoid the produce which is being imported, because you know that if it's something that was not locally grown here, and then obviously there's a lot of preservatives and chemicals to keep them fresh. So if you're eating a lot of produce that is not grown locally, then automatically you know you're also consuming a lot of chemicals in your meals. Then mixing of fruits, Ernest was talking about. And yes, I like that you brought up the point. Thank you very much, because a lot of the times we think, oh, it's a fruit, so it's fine. But if you've been diagnosed of high blood glucose, for instance, there are certain fruits that you should avoid because they have too much glucose in them, too much sugar. So banana, for instance, has very high sugars in it. Even mango, a cup of mango is 25 grams on its own. So if you're mixing these fruits together, then yes, you're doubling how much sugar you're putting in. You can mix some of these fruits with vegetables, which is what I actually recommend, because a lot of our vegetables have very, 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 very low sugars in them. So if you feel like you really need to make a smoothie, you can mix it with some green vegetables. Godwin, yes.
Yeah. Please, I'm asking that fruits, is it before food or after food?
Say that again, please.
Fruits.
Uh-huh.
When you are eating fruit, is it
Yes.
before or after meals?
Okay, all right. So, fruits, when is the best time to eat a fruit? And there are so many different philosophies. Some people say eat it before, some people say eat it after. And like I said, I don't want people to get so technical with food or how to eat and how not to eat. What I'll recommend is that you can have your fruits as your snacks in between meals. Okay, so for instance, you've had breakfast at about 10, or you've had your breakfast about 8 or 7 in the morning. By 10:30, 11, you can have your snack, which could be a healthy fruit. So by the time you have lunch at about 12 or 1, that food may have digested already. However, it would have helped to fill you up, to keep your metabolism going. So fruits can be great snacks in between your main meals. All right. Is there something like genetic cholesterol as against diet-related cholesterol? And how can the genetic one be treated? All right. So yes, some of these diseases, there is a genetic component. However, research is showing that it is only 10 to 15% of the time that people may inherit a gene that may be linked to some of these lifestyle diseases. So most of the time, we're looking at about 70% of the time, it is actually from our lifestyle that we get these diseases. The things we eat, our sedentary life, our activities, that is what more often than not brings up these diseases. And if it is genetic, I would say don't give up. Still go ahead and do your best so that you can manage it very well. Is pork a lean meat, and is the oil from eating pork good cholesterol? Okay, so when we talk about meats, meats are fine. It's the fatty tissue around the meat. Pork doesn't have that skin like chicken, but for instance, if you look at chicken and you take the skin off, you realize that it's very, very oily. And even with the pork, if there's still some fat around it, when you feel it, you realize that it's all oil. So yes, when we talk about lean meat, we're advising that you take off the excess fat around it and then just go ahead and have the meat itself. Is it advisable to fry an egg mixed with tomato and dandelion for breakfast? Saint PDM in Dansoman. Thank you for your message. Yes, frying eggs with vegetables is fine. And especially dandelion. Dandelion is a green leafy vegetable, which I highly recommend. It has a lot of health benefits, and I would definitely recommend that. Okay. Anansi, is Anansi a result of high cholesterol? Okay, so Anansi, I believe you're talking about the numbness in the arms or legs, or that funny feeling you get if you've been sitting in a funny position for a while. That's more likely than not a circulatory issue. There could be a link if your blood vessels are blocked or are clogged with too much cholesterol, and therefore your blood flow is diminished. Yes, that can reduce your circulation, and it's possible that you could have that feeling, but many other things can cause that sensation as well. All right, so Patrick from Michelle Camp says, good afternoon. To lose weight, I'm going through 6 a.m. to before. To lose weight, I'm going through 6 a.m. to noon before eating. I'm taking lemon water every morning. Is it a good practice? Thank you for the question. So you can do that, but it shouldn't be every day. That's why they call it intermittent fasting. You shouldn't do that every single day, because it's important that when you wake up in the morning, first thing, you do eat some healthy breakfast. So if every so often you want to mix it with some intermittent fasting, yes, but I wouldn't recommend doing that every single day. All right. Akita, thank you so much for your message. On the calories, can you throw more light on foods that gives calories? Can we use brown sugar instead of white sugar? Great question. Yes, so brown sugar is only more natural, so to speak. Anytime you have anything that is brown, it's usually more natural. Like brown rice is natural. When it is polished or when it is enriched, then it becomes white. So the more natural, the better. However, brown sugar is still sugar. So I would say definitely minimize how much sugar you're taking in. All right. Fred from North Carolina, thank you for your message. My recent blood test after a routine checkup with my doctor showed that both my HDL and LDL cholesterol levels are well below the minimum range mark. How can I boost my good and bad cholesterol levels? All right, Fred. So good job. You're doing well. It's good to keep your low or the LDLs as low as possible. So we don't want those to go up. We do want the HDLs to go up though. And some of the things you can get good fats from, we have avocados or what we call pear. They have great oils in that. Fish, salmon, or our own salmon, as we like to call it, has great omega-3 oils in them that we highly recommend. We also have even your coconut, okay? Coconut is everywhere, and so you hear a lot about coconut oil these days because there's a lot of health benefits from using coconut oil. Olive oil is also great. And also some of our fishes, even apart from salmon, our seafoods, tilapia, shrimps, anchovies, herrings, all those things also have very healthy fats in them. Okay. Yes, Mr. Banafo. How can I fashion my diet so that I can eat what I usually eat but not gain too much weight? Okay. So again, like I said, we don't want you to not eat your fufu or not eat your kenke, but you can watch the amount, okay, that you're eating, and also the time. We didn't even get the chance to talk about eating late, but I think we'll continue this next week because we didn't really cover much. So the time we eat a lot of these meals is also another problem, because eating a very high starchy meal just before you go to bed usually has problems. So eat your heavy meals during the day and make sure you break them down before you go to bed. All right. So we're going to answer some other questions next week. It's a promise. Okay. So make it a point to be at the Joy Business Health and Wellness Trade Show, which is coming up from the 30th of May to the 1st of June 2019. There will be lots of discussions along diet and other health issues. So make sure you're at the National Theatre from 30th of May to 1st June for the Joy Health and Wellness Trade Show. Thank you very much for your time, and we will see you next week.
Click, send, download, server down, upload, buzz, buffer, Wi-Fi.